In this video, we'll go over all the WoW news from the past week and try to compress it into a bite-sized video. The weekly event for this week is Mista Pandaria Time Walking. Two things to note with this time walking. One is you can get rep easily for the anglers, so that you can get your Water Strider mount, which is the most useful mount in the game. And two, the Infinite Hatchling pet is on sale, which is actually a decent PvP pet. The world boss for this week is something I don't really care about. I'm just using this space to remind you guys that the world boss loot does not upgrade with the new season, so it's going to stay 355. So I'm not going to explain what it is anymore. The archaeology bi-weekly is still for academic exploration, which is the thing needed in order to get the headmaster title, which someone pointed out in the comments is bugged and you can't get anymore. So I guess it's completely useless. And the PvP brawl for this week is Cooking Impossible, which is that brand new one they came out with a couple of weeks ago, which is quite possibly going to be a new battleground. And it's actually a lot of fun and I'd recommend it. The new raid Dazara Lore comes out today, with normal and heroic difficulties being available this week, and then all the other stuff coming next week, with the first wing of Raid Finder and Mythic Mode opening up. And just a reminder, this is the new raid and not patch 8.1.5, which has a whole bunch of other stuff. That's probably not coming out for another couple months. The Call of the Scarab Lord micro holiday is going on currently and should be ending tomorrow. So for a very limited time, you can go to Silithus and you have to set the time back to the old version of Silithus before the sword got stabbed into it. And there's a whole bunch of world quests you can complete in order to do some, cosmetic stuff. It's not super important. And now on to some of the miscellaneous things. There's going to be a new dev Q&A on Thursday. There was a Mythic Plus interview that didn't really say much. The only thing I got from it was they had planned on adding extra mechanics to Mythic difficulty trash, which they then eventually abandoned. Other than that, they just talked about some of the philosophies that went into their design decisions on Mythic Plus dungeons. And also, Blizzard announced they're going to be adding a toy item to the cash shop, with most of the proceeds of that item going to fund prize money for esports tournaments. Similar to how they do it with Dota 2, I think. And now on to weather with DevBot the Weather Bot. How's that whole thing with the Illuminati or whatever the hell you were doing?
Oh right, that. I beat the Illuminati instantly after the broadcast. I've just been hanging out in Starbucks responding to Reddit comments on my laptop correcting stupid people on the fake moon landings.
Alright DevBot, sounds like you have important work to do. Now onto the micro fact of the day. Did you know, in the alpha versions of WoW, they had guards in areas that were not yet finished in order to kill players who tried to access those areas. But some people found clever ways around those guards, and then would submit bug reports about unfinished areas they weren't supposed to be able to get to. Which of course were completely useless, but just kind of funny that they would submit bug reports on areas they knew they weren't supposed to be in. And now on to the YouTuber shoutout. This one will just be for Hazelnutty Games raid guides. With the new raid coming out this week, Hazel finished up all of her raid guides, and I'll have a link for the playlist for those raid guides down in the video description. And with that, I'll see you all next week.